loyal to a fault, and now I'm ready to have my own back. And if in the event that you know that there's an aqua spirit bonded in that fast in the liberty where with Christ I've set y'all free, don't be entangled with the yokes of bondage. Y'all tell the devil he's a liar.
Child. Anyways. Hi. Good evening. Good afternoon. Good morning. Whenever you're watching this video, I'm glad you're here with me today. Today we are talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 17, episode 2. Rumors and raised eyebrows. We're gonna go in order for the most part, and I'm going to stop and touch on whatever stands out to me as we go through this episode. But one of the first episode, or as the episode begins, we see Phaedra and her son. And the last time, it was just yesterday, that we were here with Phaedra lying about her due date. And now he went from the car seat to the driver's seat. And for what I really, it's great to see the kids grow up and all that other stuff. But what's actually stood out to me in this scene was when she just randomly, when they was like, so he's like a designated driver. And she's like, oh no, I ain't no drunk. No, that's it. That's Apollo. Yeah, I'm a Christian lady. No such thing. Don't do those things. And I'm like, that's random. Why did you just randomly want to like drag Apollo and let us know that he's a drunk and your son is driving for him since the age of 12? Like, toxic, don't you think? Little bit. Yeah, but anyway, let's get into the main, one of the main plot points of this episode. All right, so here we are, and the girls are at the Dirty Tea. It is Porsha, then we have K. Michelle come in, and lastly, we have little Kelli walk in, little shortcake. And they're basically in the confessionals. Yeah, I really want to, be friends, with Kelli. I want to develop a relationship. Kelli is saying the same thing, vice versa. I want to have a relationship with Porsha. I want to build something, right? And then so they are at the tea table and they kind of are going over what Porsha's party. They said it was fun. They enjoyed it. And Kate Michelle Wade was obviously she had so much fun. It was blue bitch bad. And then they were talking about Drew. Oh, ain't it funny how that dude was in the phone for like 3 hours? And then she was like, "Oh, he liked being on the phone. Like that's where he likes to play." And she let us know that he was in her DM. Oh, you're so beautiful or whatnot. So all the things. And then they do the little pleasantries and stuff, and then we get down to it. Well, whatever Porsha, is conspiring. That's what we're getting to right now. All right, so Kelli is saying how much they have in common, and they want to, they're fluff. They're adding their fluff in, and we have Porsha. Well, I that's cool and all that. Before we get there, I feel like we need to understand why, we are at where we're at. And then she goes on to talk about the interview that she did at the which was actually the after show, where she said, well, P need to stop sleeping with married men. And she was like, that really hurt my feeling. And it's really hard to hurt my feelings, but you hurt my feeling. So with Porsha, confronting her about what she said to, about her in the after show, she goes on to say, like, you ain't clean, the things that you do too. And she was like, Kelly's like, wait, what? Huh? What you talking about? And she was like, yeah, you sleep with married men. Mm-hmm, you sleep with married men. And Kelly's like, what? And then we have K. Michelle. I'm with K. Michelle right now. I'm K. Michelle, like, huh? She was like, what's going on?
You know what you do presently, or
So now we have Porsha saying, so you didn't sleep with a married man, BET weekend? You didn't do that? And Kelly's like, no. And Kelly's not even like flustered. She's just like, no, no. And she's like, you sure? She was like, yeah. And then she was like, well, what did she say? She was like, no, I'm speaking facts. And Kelly was like, well, you speaking facts. Facts come with receipts. You know, in the words of Whitney Houston, show me the receipts. Okay.
I want to see the receipts.
Okay. And then so we go to Porsha and the professional. All her teeth. Yeah. Kelly. I am the receipt. Girl. And this man is telling him, oh my gosh, I just helped Kelly. Girl, whatever that receipt that you got, if you have it, it's in the same spot. It's in the same place where Phaedra put the tapes. That's where that's where the receipt's at. So now she's talking about, oh yeah, and this married man was bragging, basically talking about that she was talking about Dennis. And Kelly's like, Dennis? Why would I be talking about Dennis? And then so she's going on and on. And then K Michelle just saying that. She's like, bitch, I'm confused. We're speaking privately now. We're not speaking private as you said. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I'm stuck in the middle. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why it's happening. Why are you talking about this lady's hot pocket? Huh? The one thing we do know, Porsha goes on to say, well, you know, basically saying I'm saying what I'm saying because you were saying what you were saying about me. Girl, Porsha, the fact is, whether what you're saying is real or not real, the facts are that you did sleep with a married. You did. That's what we. It doesn't change anything. Okay, you trying to spill that tea, but she gets in the habit of making up stories. When she hear things about her, all of a sudden she hear things about you. You know, from her the dungeon. You know, she heard so and so. So then, you know, she heard dungeons and all that other stuff. So I don't know if you want to keep repeating this history of repeating things that you hear, you know, or whatever. But, you know, it's Porsha. And yeah, moving on. Okay, so now we're touching bases with Pinky Cole. We're getting a little bit more of her background, of her story, and we learn more about her and her husband and how they met. So apparently they've been married for 5 years. They got married because I think she was pregnant 3 months after initially meeting. Then they got married, and then they had 3 kids back to back. The husband already had 2 older kids, so together they have 5. I don't know how to feel about the relationship yet. There are certain things that he was saying. I was like, humble me. Like, I was like her. Like, what you mean humble me? Like, what you mean humble her? Like, what is he talking about? So I don't know. I just don't know how I'm feeling about the relationship yet. Yeah. We have to we're going to watch out on it. And she talks a little bit more about her situation with her finances and with her business. How she built it up real big, and then crumbled. She had to start over. So yeah, thank you. All right, so here we are, and we're back with K and Michelle once again. I don't know about y'all, but it'd be like I feel like it's like a different show when it's like K and Michelle. When they're talking about K and Michelle, I feel like it's a K and Michelle show.
Thank you very much. I'm David Ruffin, and these are the Temptations.
Don't need any background singers. It's always my show.
And then when I see like the newbies, or like what's her name, Pinky, I feel like we get a little reality there. And then when I see when it's like scenes with Porsha and whatever she got going on and Drew, that's where like the performative things start to come into play. But anyway, we're here with K. Michelle at her new home that she brought with her man. And yeah, they're just going a little bit more depth in how they got together. She said she didn't ever want to get married. He obliged her. And then when she was like, no, wait, you really doing that? No. So she left, flirting around with other dudes. Like, yeah, what's up? You want me or not? You want me or not? And then so, yeah, basically she said it wasn't all rainbow and butterflies. It wasn't this cute little fairy tale romance. And yeah, picture him down in the courthouse and he looked sleepy, he looked tired. But yeah, they moved and they have a new home. I believe the children are future. Teach them well and let them lead away. Randy Watson, everybody. Randy Watson. Shamia walks in. And she got this big on and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's very Randy Watson and I don't like it. But she comes in and I don't know why I'm talking into this pen. Anyway, so she walks in and to go meet with Kelli. I guess they're meeting in the store so they can go shopping. And Kelli looks upset and Shamia asks her why. And she tells Shamia that, her ex-husband had done an interview with Tasha K. So whenever you hear the name Tasha K, you already know it's probably connected to some mess. So, she's like, oh my God, why would you do that? And then as they're having that conversation, in comes Angela. She comes strutting in and to the conversation and then they inform her. All right, so they have that conversation about her ex-husband. And then Shamesi, girl, what? Here she go asking Angela again. She said, did you have the chance to talk, to marinate on, what we said about your friend, your best friend? And Angela's like, girl, yeah, I marinated, I took it in and I still don't give a damn. Don't give a damn. No damn's given. I'm sorry. She can't find the fucks to give. So I just don't understand why Shamia is just so like pressed. She's pressed. Like she wants that's what she says. She doesn't understand why Shamia wants her to have this reaction when it comes to Drew. And I know you don't fuck with Drew, but some things, like, just let it go so you won't look desperate and crazy. Like, you clinging and hanging on to you, like, people already get this cringe feeling from you, and then you do this stuff it seems like out of desperation. It's just weird, Shamia. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. All right, so Angela asks her, Kelli about her financials. Hey, how you doing? And it seems like she's downplaying it. Like, she's like, oh, things are good, And then we get over to the confessional. She's like, girl, like, the debts are debting. She owes this, she owes that. She had to pay I think she said $100,000 in unpaid rent for a place she didn't even move into yet. I don't know, a lot of stuff, but she said she's working on it, and she said her dog Cha-Cha ain't got, hasn't been visiting the doggy salon, which I feel is fine, because Cha-Cha was looking like a chop and still looks real. Every time I say that dog be screaming like, help me, God, please help me. Like y'all, like, what's that, Finding Nemo? When the girl came in, fishy, 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 fishy. That's how I feel like that damn dog be when, like, he sees her coming, like, with that fucking dog died. He be like, oh, God, damn. But yeah, anyway, so we go into her talking about her lunch in with Porsha and the stuff that she was saying. So she's just letting everybody know, yeah, she was saying this and she was saying that. And that's where she calls her Porsha. And Angela's like, Porsha? Did you say that? She's like, no, I don't recall saying that to her face. or whatever. But she's just going on about how it is, and then Shamia's all like, you had to do what you had to do, but and oh yeah, Kelly is like, oh yeah, I gave her a hug, and then Shamia's like, I'm not hugging nobody. I'm like, Shamia, shut up, girl, shut up.
Say what we want. Shut when you think about it.
Okay, so here we are at Drew's premiere for her movie Run, and she's explaining it's how it's her bread and butter. She walks in with Claudia Jordan, and I really wish Claudia Jordan. I would like to see her back on Housewives. But anyway, so she walks in. She's doing her little step and repeat stuff. And she's talking about how she has to, get to work and make her bread and butter because she has to take care of her kids. But fast forward here today, Drew, you can't get up and take your kids to school on time or at all, apparently. So just like this, Drew, like I said, I take Drew with a grain of salt because you don't know where the actual truth lies with her. So she give you this glitz and glam, and then there's a whole nother situation on the other side of that wall. So it's Drew. Okay. All right. So real quick, Angela goes up to Phaedra and asks her, "What is the situation? What is going on? Did you actually send those people to me for real?" And Phaedra again denies. And so I guess Angela's like, forget it. I'm just going to take it for what it is. We're going to wipe the place, wipe it clean. And she apologizes to her or whatnot. And then Phaedra, of course, she's like, well, finally, I guess I finally get an apology. And maybe she'll find out who it really is. Anyway, so then we have the next person come in, which is Porsha. And this is where she debuts her love interest, Sway, I believe. Like I said, performative. Am I surprised that a Porsha messing around with a woman? Or, no. Pursuing or being open about it, or if it was still in the closet. I just still, if there was a male or if I just feel like both of the people that she brought on this season is just performative. There's nothing real about it. She needs something to do. She needs a storyline. And, we already, obviously, her history with dabbing and jumping into the pool of lesbianics has definitely been known. So why not play on that and put it up on my storyline and, damn, I need something to do. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what we get from Porsha. And then I guess that's also when we get into the conversation of Phaedra and Angela are talking, and she's telling her about the meetup that Kelli told her about that happened between Kelli and Porsha. And while they're having that conversation, Porsha walks in because, Angela is talking about a rumor that she heard, which raises Phaedra's eyebrows. And that's where we have Porsha coming in like, what's going on? And she's like, well, Kelli said that you said she was sleeping with a married man. She's like, oh, so she's spilling her own tea. And then also Angela, who was stirring the pot, she's all like, oh, yeah. And she called you Porsha. She's like, oh, Porsha. Oh, well, she a fake ass bitch then. Because, whatever. I don't know why Porsha thought would be like, oh, yeah, we're cool now. Like, we're even now. We're fine. We're cool. Girl, Porsha. Yeah, so that's basically the gist of this scene. All right. Also, real quick, I wanted to touch on this. Y'all come with me. We're going on a trip down to Delulu, the land of Delulu. You must be delusional. And this is where Drew lives. You must be delusional. And in this land of Delulu, she had a slip up and she said, "Oh, why are you living my life?" Talking to Porsha about how she's dating a woman. So, Drew, are we admitting that you're dating a woman? Huh? So, and it's just so interesting when they flash back and ask about her relationship with Ty. Here we go with another phone. Drew, what are you doing? I want to know what's in Drew's phone. What's in your phone? Huh? 3,000 messages with Ty. 3 hours with Black on the phone. What else is going on the phone? Huh? You do a lot of things with your friends, your phone friends in the phone. The phone friends. And then we're going to leave that Delulu thought and we're going to come over here to the next Delulu thought. And where they're talking about how she got killed in the first 10 minutes, but it was really 35 minutes. And she tried to put herself up there with Drew Barrymore and Jada Pinkett. You must be delusional. Girl, please. Okay. Those big name women were up there because they were known people. They were known women. There were known names to get the people in the movie theaters. Once you buy your ticket and you sit down in the seats, they can die. Because you're already there. Now we're going to show the rest of the movies and you're going to get to know the rest of these actors. Okay? But that's a marketing ploy. And Drew, I'm pretty sure your name is not big enough to pull the people in. Okay? All right. So at this point, we have made it over to the opening of Nana's Chicken and Waffles. The ladies are arriving. Shamia, for whatever reason, brings her mother and her father. And she says, Shamia mother says, if y'all get into it, I'm gonna bring out my paddle book. Okay, moving on. The ladies sit down, and Phaedra walks in looking like a tacky. I don't know, just tacky. And she comes through, and she says, "Hey, friend." And Pinky's like, "Bitch, who's she talking to? Friend? Did you say friend?" And she's like, "Yeah," talking about Angela. And then Shamia's like, and then Angela's like, "Calm down, girl. You're going to get whiplash. Calm down." Yes, we're friends. We decided to talk about it and move on. And Pinky adds in because they grown. Okay. And then Shamia is confused by this because she's like, wait, y'all wanted me to put everything on Front Street with Porsha, and now we're able to sweep stuff under the rug and keep it moving? No. Mm-mm. So she doesn't like that. Okay. All right. So Kelli finally arrives, and she comes in there, and Pinky. This is one thing I liked about this scene that Pinky did. She had a gift for her. She pulled her to the side, pulled Kelli to the side, and I was like, hey, I know you said that I left you on red. I apologize. I was going through the things. So it wasn't intentional. And she apologized. And she said, we need a trauma bond through this experience of opening a restaurant. Because that's the thing that they do have in common. And from what I always hear is that opening a restaurant, running a restaurant is hard. So it's great to see that she offered her support to her, and that they're able to quickly put this, just, like Shamia said, sweep it on the rug and then bury it, keep it moving. I think that's good for them. All right, so Kelli gives her speech. She gets emotional because she's been very, very rough for her throughout this, the opening week for her. So we get through that. They say the chicken is good. You know what we're going to do for Coco Quick Bites? We're going to order waffle mix from Miss Kelli, and we're going to make some chicken and waffles. So anyway, this is where we decide to call Porsha. And I believe it's Cynthia's phone. Cynthia's there eating all the chicken wings, apparently. And so they pull out the phone, they call Porsha. And Portia's like, yeah, hey, cute. And then they give the phone over to Kelli. And it's a very nice, nasty conversation. Why aren't you here? Because if you really want to support me, I want to know why aren't you here? And then she was like, yeah, that's just, I just don't feel like, Porsha is saying, yeah, no, I just don't feel like it's the right energy for me to show up. And then she was like, but I did send flowers. And then Kelly's like, yeah, you did. They was all bent up and broken. And I guess, I don't know who's holding the phone. Maybe it's Cynthia holding the phone. And she starts to pull it away. And Kelly's like, broken roses, broken flowers from a broken person. So, very nice, nasty between them. That's the end of the conversation.
Just came here with these fake flowers. Somebody take these and just get it on out of here. Give them to somebody homeless outside because it's fake.
Conversation. And also, Kelly does go on to tell them what Porsha says. And then Angela's like, how come you didn't call her horse shot to her face? Being messy, pot stirring. I like it. Yeah.
Don't need any background singers. It's always my show.
Okay, so here we are with Miss Kimberly, K. Michelle. She is, she wasn't there at the opening because she had a performance to do. I believe the woman's name is Reese. I don't want to mess up her name or just make something up. But obviously she is an icon legend in the country space. So she was there doing a kind of tribute performance for that woman. And I guess before that performance happened, K. Michelle was sitting down on the couch and she said it was just soaking wet. And she couldn't feel it because she was numb. A lot of times when people have surgery, especially in the same spot, through scarring and just damage of nerve endings and stuff, people just don't feel things. They become numb. So she had, soaking, they gotta dry her off with a blow dryer, and she goes out and she still performs. So she performs, even though, going through this health scare. And then she ends up going to the hospital and she's talking to her doctor. And, she's like, what's going on? I'm not dying, am I? And he's like, no, but it is an infection from a wound that had opened up. So he said, we're going to go in, we're going to clean it. And, and even though that doesn't, infection itself could lead to some crazy things. Okay. So that's scary. And just for her to have to be, she's been very open about her situation, her health, and her illegal shots and all the other stuff, and her regret about it. But you can still see it. She's very emotional about it. She's still going through it, and she blames herself. She's very upset with herself. Because she said it's something that she did, and she said, "I paid for it." When she said she paid for it, I got it like twofold. Like you pay for it money wise, and then you're paying for it again through emotions. And, all of this, obviously going to the hospital and doctor bills and medical surgeries, infections, stuff like that. So, like I said, when we watch K. Michelle, it's like the Housewives and K. Michelle. You know what I'm saying? The K. Michelle show. But I enjoy it. I think Pinky is cool so far. I'm enjoying her. I feel like she's being her. I feel like she's being genuine to her. Like I said, Porsha performative, Delulu. But I am excited for this season. I'm ready to see what the little tad bit is going to be on episode 3 between K. Michelle and Porsha. Yeah, I'm into it. I'm into it. Like y'all, let me know what y'all into. But catch me later on this week, and we're going to be putting out another recipe for Coco. Quick bites. Bring your appetite. Okay, I'll see you then. Peace.